Hey everybody, Dave Clark, aka The Pattern Guy. Welcome to step 2 of building the pattern. Okay, so last week we got the front end of the pattern built here. Okay, so now we only have to do 2 more pieces per side, so 4 more pieces. So I got a couple pieces of wood squared up. You saw me do that last week, so we'll lay these out, start sanding them up. One of the considerations you gotta think of when we're building patterns, the next step I gotta do is these front pieces, like I said, they go right onto this layout right here, right? Okay, so the next step we have to do, these will flip up like this, and then we're gonna butt another piece into this piece right here, okay? So one of the things you have to determine along the way, there's a lot in what's gonna happen. I'm not going to be able to explain everything every single time, so you're going to catch on, and like I said, we're going to do things differently every time too, okay? So this pattern only has to be used twice, alright? So I'm not going to build it that ruggedly. So one of the things you have to take in consideration is if I'm building this pattern, if we got to do 1,000 castings off of it, you know, wood's gonna be a big determination. But you know, 1,000 patterns, it's got to be built a little bit more ruggedly than if you're doing 2 or 3. Okay, so like I said, this is 2 times. It's gonna be used. That's it. It's for a buddy of mine. You know, no big deal. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is one of the things, like I keep on telling you, I want to try to teach you as much as we can. And I told you guys to, when you're laying these things out, do all 3 sides. I didn't do all 3 sides because, like I said, I didn't have a big enough piece of plywood. So yeah, we'll do them. You'll see it. Like I said, it's going to take a long time to get going on this stuff. So basically, this piece right here we got to make is this piece down here, okay? And if you're looking at it from this way, okay, it's going to be looking like this, okay? Alright, so that's the way that's gonna look. Alright, so I'm gonna lay it out right now on the piece so you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So first thing what I'm gonna do is I got, you know, these 2 pieces here. Alright, so if you remember, that's gonna go there, okay? We have draft on here, okay? So this piece is gonna butt into here. So I got 2 degrees draft on this. So I gotta put 2 degrees draft on this piece, okay? So we'll take our protractor right there, set it at 2 degrees, okay? And make sure the light's on there. It seems like it's a little dark in here today. I'm gonna flip this around this way here. I can do that. Okay, and I'm going to take draft off of this time because we added it to this piece, so it's going to come off of this. Okay, so there's my 2 degrees there. Alright, now I'm going to take my, my other piece. I got my parting line on the bottom. Okay, so we're just going to put that on right away too. Okay. Do the same thing, and then what we'll do too, those should be good enough just to sand on the sander. I think I moved there. No. Okay, these should be good enough to do on the sander. So what I'm going to do right away is I'm going to go ahead and get my length on this, and then I got to put a radius on here. Okay, so I'm going to get my length on here, which will be from here to here, okay? It's going to be my length of the piece, alright? So, and then we got draft on this thing. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on here. See where we're coming out draft-wise. I got like a good 16 on here. So, from the bottom, I'll lay out up, okay? So that piece will be We're looking at 6 1/8 of an inch. Okay, 6 1/8. I'm gonna put these two pieces together. Measure out 6 1/8. Now that's to the end. Okay. Now, one thing, I'll try to have all my tools over here ready to go. One thing I can see I don't have, I'm gonna need is my dividers. I'm gonna go get something else too. I'll be right back, all right? Okay guys, here, what I did, I clamped these two pieces together because what I'm gonna do, I gotta put a radius on the end of this, okay? So that's, it's easier if you just put a clamp on them, okay? So there's a couple different ways you could do this. This is why we lay out. So you take, you know, we're going to take this off of the layout, all right? So basically, we got our parting line here to the top. That's parting line to the top here. So I want my radius to be tangent to the top. And tangent is basically where the top of the arc is. Okay, that's where the top line will meet. That's tangent, okay? So here, all you got to do is set down at the parting line, go all the way to the top, and you're there. Okay, so it should be perfect here. All right, so here's my end. Okay, and before I strike a mark, I'm going to check it. It's a little off. These pieces are a little scant here. Okay, so now here, I got this. I got my center here. All right. So I'm going to strike an arc. So I'm going to teach you how to do this. This is a thing I got to get into teaching you woodworking. Okay, so the grain of the wood is going this way. All right, so for me just to make one line like this with your dividers, what happens, it'll catch in the grain. Okay, there's hard spots. These dark spots are a little harder. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with the grain, and instead of just one big sweep, you make a couple strokes like that, okay? And that makes it so that it doesn't, the scribe doesn't catch into that grain, and it'll kind of like pull the leg in like that. You know, you won't get a true radius, okay? So we're going to do the same thing on this side. All right, and then there's your end, okay? So that's our other end. So we're going to go to the bandsaw, cut the excess off, and then the sander, and then that piece we'll have to put our side draft on, and then these two pieces will be done. All right. Okay, done with the sander. Okay, so I made these two pieces. Okay, that would be this piece. All right, that's gonna go right here. All right, so putting them together like this, okay, I don't need draft this way because I got draft because of this radius, all right? But we need draft on these two sides, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put two lines on these. You don't want to go over we're putting 2 degrees draft on everything on these, okay? So I don't want to just go over to the sander, put 2 degrees on, sand to face. I got to make sure I get a parallel line on here, okay? Because, you know, theoretically, you know, exaggerated, I could do it like that, all right? And you don't want that. So these are parallel right now. I want to keep them parallel. So I'm going to take my mark gauge. It doesn't matter. My mark gauge, it would take about 1/8 of an inch maybe. I think we were a little heavy 16th for draft. So we'll go like 1/8 of an inch. Okay, we'll put a mark. And don't forget to, when you make a mark on here, you know, put a little X on there. That's the side you gotta measure from the same side, okay? You gotta do it from the same side. Just in case these aren't parallel, okay, if you mark it from different sides, it's going to be different, okay? All right, so get in the habit of doing it from the same side, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to measure our next dimension, the width, right there, okay? So the width it's a good 2 1/8 of an inch. Okay, now this has got some machining on it also, so you know it's not a huge thing. And actually I can see already I'm a little too much over. How the heck did I do that here? All right, yeah, 2 and an 8. How am I doing this here? See, okay, I'm going a little bit too much here already. So I gotta just take that let's go 3/30 seconds on there. All right, we should be good. So I'm gonna measure it on here. So I thought these pieces were a little thicker. All right, so that would give me a little bit more there. Okay, and then I got 2 marks on here, so I got to remember where I got to go to here. So, all right, so let's try that again. Get my 2 and 8 out, and that should be good. Okay, all right. Set my gauge, and I'm doing it from the same side, right? Okay, I didn't put an X on that side, but I know because it's on that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take these over to sander, sand draft on these, and these 2 will be done. And then we'll be off to the last piece. Alright, hang tight. Okay, back again, guys. I got these 2 pieces sanded with my draft, okay? So it's coming together, okay? So what we're going to do is butt these 2 together, okay? And that'll be right there. Okay, and this is another reason why you do a layout. You know, you can build your pattern up on your layout. Okay, all right. So all we got to do now is make that gusset, and instead of the steps like that, he just wants a radius one. Okay, so I got my pieces. I got it square one side. So basically, what I got to do is this piece is gonna fit inside here. Okay, let's flip this up. This piece is going to sit inside here, okay? So it's got to be square here, and we got draft going this way, draft going this way. All right, so I got to put -2 degrees draft, -2 degrees draft when I do that. So I'm going to take these over the sander, put minus, I got both of the pieces. I'm just going to put my minus draft, so I got a straight edge to go from. And then what I'll do is I'll put my square line on both ends, get that, and then we got to come up with an arc in here, and that's one of the things with him. He's kind of leaving it up to us to come up with something. Okay, so let me go put these on the sander real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I skipped a step real quick here, so I don't want to put the 2 degrees draft on there yet. Okay, so one of the things that we got on this, I don't know if you can see this. All right, so there's a taper from this back edge up to the front, okay? So if I were to have put my 2 degrees draft on there, this is the way I gotta taper this, okay, on this edge. So if I had the 2 degrees here, when I went up to the sander, it would have been like this, okay? So what I wanna do, I wanna keep parting to here square, get that angle first, and then, you know, I'll put my 2 degrees on after. So it's the thing where, like I said, it's you gotta keep your mind on what you're doing, okay, all the time. I took my mind off. All right, so basically what I want to do is get that angle. It's not a big deal for this thing. Okay, normally also I would have liked to have sanded this side so I could get a good line on there. We'll be good enough. It's a decorative thing. Okay, so if this was something, you know, part for ship for the Navy or something, we'd be doing this a little bit more accurate. Okay, and like I said, I always want you to do things accurate and best as you can. But like I said, this is for a buddy of mine, so we gotta get stuff done a little quick. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my rear measurement, and like I said, this isn't a big deal either. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna pencil this one on too, because like I said, it's a decorative piece. All right, so the rear one's 1 3/4 inches. Okay, and we'll still come out pretty close for for what we're doing too, okay? All right, and then my front part is 1.25 inches, okay? And another thing too with this is I'm getting a little afraid too. We gotta pour this, we gotta take this down to foundry, cast it. This is getting pretty big. I hope I'm gonna be able, but I can only melt so much aluminum down in the foundry. So we're gonna be poundage wise, we're gonna be really close, okay? So we're just gonna do it rough. We're just gonna do this roughly right now, okay? And then once we will fine tune some stuff. All right, so I'm gonna take this on the bandsaw and sand it too, okay? All right, see you in a minute. Okay, here's a piece for the gusset. We gotta make the shape of it, all right? And like I said, this isn't, it's not gonna be anything hugely accurate, okay? This is like a decorative piece, okay? So I got these two pieces right here, okay? Now this gusset's gonna go in here, okay? So what we gotta do is, instead of making this stepped, we're just gonna put an arc, okay? So I'm gonna have my camera guy help me. Let me take a couple measurements here real quick. We got 5 inches there for there. And then we got a length of 9, oh, we got the, yeah, I think we got that already. No, we don't. 9 inches. Okay, I'm gonna put a square line up there real quick. All right, and then I don't think this matters too much. I want to bring it down. I want to try to make this a little smaller, so we'll go like 1.25 inches. Like I said, it's a little artistic thing here going, okay? So I got 2 marks and I want to make some kind of a radius. So I'm going to take my ruler, okay, they're flexible. All right, so I'm going to bend it to where I think is good, and then camera guy's going to mark it, okay? Okay, so I got that mark on here. I think what I'm going to do too is I'm going to put a pretty good draft angle on this. Instead of just like 2 degrees, you know, we're going to put like 15 degrees on that or something, okay? And then, like I said, what I want you to do is lay each part out separately, but since this is a little different because, you know, like I said, we just drew that arc, it's going to be impossible for me to duplicate it on its own, so we're going to have to lay this part out on there. Okay, so let me cut these out and then I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, got done on the sander and that, so this is what we came up with for a gusset, okay? So all we got to do is glue all this together right now, all right? So this is basically it right there, okay? You know, minus, like I said, we changed this gusset instead of making it stepped, okay? We just made it something like this. I'm not going to glue it together on camera. I'm going to glue it together. I might put an edge on this, make it a little bit more ornate again. I'm going to talk to my buddy about it. But next step, you know, this is pretty much built, you know, minus gluing it together. And what I do too, usually, I'll build this side first, okay, flip it over, and then I'll glue up the other side. You know, you don't separately do them, okay? You do them one on top of each other, okay? So like I said, we're gonna do these over and over. You guys can get sick of doing this stuff. All right, so the next thing what I'm gonna do, next video what we'll do is I gotta put rounds on everything, okay? You can't have sharp corners, usually. I mean, sometimes they'll call for a sharp corner. Mostly we round it. It's just better metal formation, okay? You know, the other thing, you can't have these straight corners in here, okay? So we're gonna put some fillets in here. What I'll do is, since we're only kind of gluing this together, and when I glue this together, I'm not clamping anything or anything. It's just, like I said, we're gonna use it twice, okay? It's just gonna be lightly built. All right, the other thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put plastic fillets in. So the plastic fillets will actually help, you know, keep it together too. So next video what we'll do is I'll show you how to round the corners on everything on this, what corners are going to be rounded. We'll do some fillet work in there and give her a coat of paint, and the next step will be ready to go down to the foundry and do some castings. It's supposed to be cast in aluminum, this is pretty big. It might be on the verge of not being able to pour this one down at the foundry, but if we can't do it at my foundry, I'll take it to one of my customers, so he'll help me do it, and I'll see if he'll let me film there. I'm not sure, but we'll at least attempt to pour it down at my foundry. You know, we'll see how it goes, but I don't think I can melt enough aluminum for this. But anyhow, Wednesday I got a chalk talk coming up. We'll get that together, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Have a good one, guys.